Yeah. Okay, this is a new week. It's a new week, so I'll be analyzing the charts. I feel like, what can I say? I feel like they have good setups, if I could say. So here again, we can see on this one, mm, volatility 75. Already we can see this. There was a consolidation from around this level. There was a breakout and a retest. There was a breakout and a retest coming back towards the level in which it broke out of. And a further continuation to the downside. So this was a previous high. I'll be looking at that as a key point. Yet again, what I can see from this, you might consider this as a double bottom. And one might say this double bottom will end around this level or this level. One might say it started here, it created a double bottom. That's where it will end. But ever since it broke out of this level, it has yet came. Yo, ever since it broke out of this level, it hasn't come back to retest the level in which it broke out of. So something to put into consideration is something like this. Then a further continuation, maybe coming around the zones, that demand zone. So yeah, there's okay in terms of chart pattern, one might say this. One might say this. Because it's a W formation. There's a change of character. Ish, what's happening now? Yeah, something like this. Because where it started, it usually ends. It usually ends where it started because it's a W formation. It's a reversal sharp pattern. So yeah, that's what I can see from this. So let me clear this chart. Okay, this is the high. This is the high and this are the lows. So I can see that this was created whereby we can say this. It's a double bottom chart pattern. And there was change of character here. So as I move to the 4-hour time frame, yeah, I can see what this might be the recently formed low. Yeah, man, it is fine. Let me put it here because this was the previous high. There was a break of structure here. The double bottom is being respected. So this might be key areas because I can see this candlestick. It will be a good key area to act as a no. This would be a good key area to act as a demand zone, if I could say. So yeah, that's right here because already I can see there was a change of character around this low, this previous high. There was a change of character whereby this was tapped. The market came back into these levels, but this one wasn't tapped. What time frame? There was a break of structure issue, you know. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at. I'll be looking at these key area zones, but from the highest level, I know this level. Okay, let me tap into daily. Okay, something like this. Already I can see this. Already I can see this, which is also good because it's part of, let me remove this. Okay, let me not remove that. Let me remove this. This is a daily demand zone. So inside the daily demand zone, there's something like this. So inside this is the daily demand zone. So inside the daily demand zone, this is a 4 hour. So it's center. So yeah, when it comes to me, this is something key. I'll be looking into these levels. I'll be looking into this. So at the current moment, I'll be waiting for the market to come back into these levels. Not these levels, these levels. Yeah, because what I understand is that ever since the market broke this highs, as you can see, there was an impulsive breakout. So I'm waiting for the market maybe to correct around this. So we can create something like this. That's I'm expecting. I'm expecting a breakout and a retest. So there was indeed a breakout, but there hasn't been a retest. So yeah, and one might say this liquidity here gets flowed. So yeah, this is something I'll be taking into consideration based on volatility 75. But yet again, we have to put into consideration that once the market arrives at this level, let me try and do this. We'll just monitor how the market comes towards this zone. But what we expect to see is this change of character happening and a further continuation. We don't just enter as it comes towards this level. We wait for a change of character. Wait for a change of character and then a further continuation to the upside. So yeah, this is what I'll be looking at. But at the current moment, we just wait. Um, at the current moment, we just wait. Just wait for this one. Mm. Same with this. As I put my lows, I can see this was the previous low. Also this, also this. And one might say that ever since the market broke out of this level, because there was some kind of a rejection there. The market came to this level and it went down. There was some kind of a rejection there. Ever since it broke these levels, it has yet came back to the level in which it broke out of. Maybe it might confluence with the daily demand zone or this low here. But one might say this low got tapped. So yeah. So I'll just point out the level in which the market broke out of. So as we can see this, one might say, let's change. One might say this was a recently formed low. Yeah, it's understandable. And okay, what I can see from this is that one can see this. I'm sure already we all know when it comes to this type of chart pattern, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer chart pattern. The market started here. You know what this chart patterns, they always end where they started. And already I can see this. There's a shoulder here, there's a head, and there's another shoulder. Let me change it here. You see, already we can see. Okay, let me move towards the lower time frame. That's how the lows, yeah. Yeah, this is it. Where it started. There's the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. So I'm expecting the market to complete this. At the current moment, I can see it broke out of the neckline. This would say it's a neckline. This low will regard this low as a neckline of the head and shoulder pattern. So ever since it broke out of the neckline, what I'm expecting to see, maybe I'm expecting a retest around this level because you can see this equal highs might be liquidity here. So I'm expecting something like this, taking this liquidity out, the market retesting the level in which it broke out of, whereby already one might say it has retested the level in which it broke out of. Ever since it broke out, it retested. So I can see there's liquidity here. I'm expecting the market to come back towards this supply zone and a further continuation towards the downside. So yeah, already I can see a chart pattern there, whereby it's a head and shoulder chart pattern. So yeah, let me break it down towards the lowest level. Neckline, head and shoulder, head and shoulder neckline. So what I can see from this is there's this lows, this lows. The market broke out of this lows. So already we can see this low was broken into, there was a change of character. The market came towards these levels and there was a break of structure. But ever since there was a break of structure, the market hasn't come back towards this level. So it's something to put into consideration. So I can see this low, the change of character, and there was a break of structure. Yeah, this is what I can see. This 4 hour demand zone, not 4 hour supply zone was tapped. So what I'll be looking at is this high towards this lows. 4 hour supply zone. So yeah, this is what we were looking to push towards. Previously broken highs this low. That's where it started. It started here. That's where it's going to be completed. So I'll be looking in terms of this. Let me put this towards this highest level. So I'll be looking for the market to come back towards this level. Maybe even further towards this. Because one might say the 4 hour supply zone. This I'm sure is based on the daily. It's based on the fib, to be honest. Let me not say the daily. It's based on the fib. So I'll just erase this. So I'm expecting this liquidity to be taken out because there was equal highs here. I'm expecting this liquidity to be taken out. And already I can see there's a break of structure there. Ash, did I do? So what I know is that people already they are going to be taking their sell positions here because already there was a change of character here. There was a break of structure. Maybe like there was a change of character here, and there was a break of structure and another break of structure. So already people they have their selling positions here, and already as you can see this candlestick, it's telling them that hey, we are about to push towards the downside. But I'm expecting the early sellers here to be taken out. Let me do it like this. But from my side, I'm expecting the early sellers to be taken out. The ones, the ones that are going to sell at this supply zone, I'm expecting them to be taken out because there's liquidity at this level. I'm expecting this liquidity to be taken out, liquidating early sellers. That's when we enter into the market, push further towards the downside. But what I said is that as the market arrives at these levels, we don't just enter right away. We wait for a break of structure, then we enter upon the break for a further continuation towards the downside. So yeah, but at the current moment, I'll be waiting for the market to come towards this level. I'll be waiting for the market to come towards this level. So yeah. So that will be my aim. And I'll just monitor how the market arrives at this level. I'll just monitor how the market arrives at this level. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting. But what I can see is this. This was a strong impulsive move. So and already this will be regarded as a corrective structure. So I'm waiting for this market to become liquidated. I'm waiting for this to be liquidated, the lows taken out, retest, then a further continuation. That's what I'm expecting. So this is a good, clean, nice setup. Yeah, I'll just consider this and put it into consideration because it's a nice, clean setup. I'll be looking at this, monitoring myself. And what also I forgot to put into consideration is this. There's a fair value gap here. The fair value gap already it confluences with the 4-hour supply zone. So I'm expecting this fair value gap. I'm expecting this fair value gap to be taken out. The market coming back into this fair to fill this fair value gap before we can have this change of character and a further continuation towards the downside. That's what I'm expecting. So yeah, this is quite a good chart because already I can see there is a reversal chart pattern, which is the head and shoulder chart pattern. Chart pattern is a reversal chart pattern. So already it confluences with many things that this market's gonna go towards the downside, but yet it's a probability game. It's not guaranteed because already you can get a chart pattern that meets all the requirements, but still it wouldn't follow. Like what can I say? It wouldn't follow the plan because it's a probability game. Just because we had a chart pattern that had everything aligning with it doesn't mean the next one that has the same characteristics will continue towards the direction you expect it to go towards. I learned this thing through Mark Douglas, Mind Over Markets. So yeah, what's next? Jump 10, jump 10, jump 10, jump 10, jump 10. Is it? Okay, this one is the one that I expected. I traded, not expected to be honest. The aim, the top aim was this levels. This were short term, whereby I was expecting maybe something like this. I was expecting something like this, and there would be a completion. So you can see that one might say this inverse head and shoulder, there has been a completion, even though it didn't correct into this level. You see, there was a completion. This is where it started. It came and completed. So let me erase down here. And this liquidity was taken out. And this liquidity was indeed taken out. So yeah, let me take this out. This consolidation. This was a consolidation. And what I can see from this consolidation is that this low was taken out. So I'd regard this as a change of character because there haven't been any low. Maybe one might say that was a low. Yeah, maybe I'd regard this as a low. Which one did I choose now? The change of character. So one can see that there was a change of character here. There was a change of character from the highest level towards the lowest level. 4.15. Change of character, break of structure. Already what I can see from this is that this supply zone was respected. This supply zone is what made this trade. But instead of this supply zone, if it was just a trade, this would have been. So one might say 1 hour. Just like this one, you can see something here. So yeah, if one is looking to enter sell positions, we might be looking at something like this at these levels. Because this one, yeah, you'd consider this one maybe a spike into this level, but this also plays a key role. So yeah, but we know we moved from being in an uptrend. We moved from being in an uptrend. Now we're currently moving towards the downtrend. Because already this lows have been taken. Maybe it was a reaction towards this lows, but I know I'm expecting something here. Then a further continuation towards the downside. So yeah, it's something to put into consideration. It's quite amazing to be honest. Because already it respected what we thought at this highest level. Because on the highest levels, I don't know if I posted the analysis and stuff. We don't know. But I know I did an analysis on this one. Because already there was a change of character on the highest time frame. The recently formed low on the highest time frame was broken out. So I was expecting a retest towards the level in which the market broke out of. So this was the retest, and this retest came in rally, base, drop. And with that happening, this came into play. So yeah, but the idea was to push the market towards these lows. Towards this lows. So yeah, my G, this is what I'll be taking into consideration. I don't want this to be quite long. Um, yeah. So these are the charts I'll be looking into. And yet again, what I said is that we don't just enter blindly when the market comes back towards these levels. We just wait for a change of character. We just wait for something like this. Change of character, then mitigation. Yeah, this is what we'll be looking into towards. Yeah, but so far so good, guys. Just pure chart analysis. Yeah. Yeah, so guys, can you please give me feedback on what you think about this chart analysis and stuff? If it helps you or you want me to create other videos and stuff, maybe explaining how we tackle these charts. But I think my analysis are just self-explanatory. explanatory, if I could say, if that's even the right word to use. Yeah, but I'm not confusing many things. I'm not doing confusions and stuff. It's just straightforward chart analysis. We point out our key area zones. And once the market comes back to those key area zones, we don't just enter blindly. We just monitor how the market arrives. Does it arrive at that level impulsively? We just wait for a reducing momentum. We just analyze how it arrives. So we can see a decrease in momentum. Once the momentum has decreased, we wait for certain structures to happen before we can take our positions. It's quite easy and straightforward, guys, because it's not that complicated. You just have to analyze and understand your entry setups and also chart patterns, because sometimes you can see it's something and already you can see it's a reversal chart pattern, but you just ignore it and you tend to go with what you think you see, even though you see certain chart. Yeah, plus I know when it comes to the mind, the brain, you tend to see certain things that are not there. So you just gotta train your mind to see chart patterns. But it was quite amazing, to be honest. Yeah. Shout out, guys.